Okay, so ulit tayo. Start tayo sa nervous system. So, if ever na may questions, kindly let me know. Then, I'll address it sa sa chats natin. So, si nervous system, ang function lang ng nervous system natin is to detect stimuli. So, once ito, na-detect niya si stimuli, pupunta siya doon sa brain. Then, after niya pumunta doon sa brain, ang mangyayari is si brain magsasend siya ng signals to the effector organ nito. So, for the nervous system, this includes the CNS and PNS. Pag central nervous system, tandaan mo from the word center, brain and spinal cord lang. Then PNS, ito lang ang peripheral organs mo. So, for neurons, these are the functional units ng nervous system natin. So, we have sensory or afferent, then motor or efferent neuron. So, pag sinabi nating afferent neuron, from the word afferent, or tandaan mo, akin ka lang, ibig sabihin nito ay papunta siya sa brain. Kapag motor naman, kabaliktaran lang siya ng afferent, to the body naman. So, move tayo sa neurons. Part nito. For the neurons, unahin natin to, si cell body. Si cell body, ito yung issue ng cell body mo. Diyan, may nucleus kang makikita. And also, your cell body is also known as soma or perikaryon. Okay. For the cell body, may makikita ka ditong mga projections na elongated. That is your dendrites. Ang function lang ni dendrites is to receive the action potential of the other neuron. Then, moving from the dendrite to the cell body, may makakita ka ditong pyramidal na shape. Hindi siya kita. So, makikita ka din pyramid na shape. Yan. That is your axon hillock. Then, from your axon hillock, may makita ka ditong area na to. That is your axon na nag-extend siya dito. That's your axon. Then, in between your axons, may makikita kang puti-puti. That is your myelin sheath. Then, within this puti-puti, that is your nodal gaps or node of Ranvier. So, unahin natin si myelin sheath. Yung gawain lang ni myelin sheath is to insulate or protect your axon. Then, ang gawain naman ni nodal gap mo or ni node of Ranvier mo is diyan nangyayari yung saltatory conduction. So, itong saltatory conduction na to, this is the process where nagja-jump na lang yung action potential mo to another nodal gap, which means bababa yung time or na marireach ng neuron na pumunta sa kabilang neuron. So, may makita ka dito ang presynaptic cell, postsynaptic cell, and synapse. Pag sinabi ng presynaptic cell, this is the cell na kung saan currently nangyayari yung action potential. Then, we have the synapse naman. Yung synapse, this is your junction between two neurons or a neuron and the effector organ. Ay ang gawain ni synapse mo. Then we have the postsynaptic cell. Ang gawain ni postsynaptic cell is to receive the action potential conducted by our presynaptic cell. Then once na na-conduct na to ni postsynaptic cell, ika-conduct naman niya yung action potential to another neuron. Yun lang yung function niya. So, kung makita mo tong arrow na to, ito yung direction ng conduction mo. From the dendrites to your cell body, ibabox ko na, to your cell body. Then, from your cell body, pupunta siya dito sa axon hillock. Then, to your axons. Yun lang yung function niya. Then, within that, itong action potential na nangyayari is pag nagja-jump lang siya. Jump from a nodal gap to another nodal gap. Kaya, mabilis yung time na umabot yung stimuli or response ng neurons natin to another effector organ. Then, lastly, sa axon, yung terminal end niya, this is what you call the synaptic terminals in which konektado siya sa postsynaptic cell mo or your effector organ. Dito sa neurons, we have 3 layers. For the 3 layers, we have the from outer to inner to perineurium, epineurium, and endoneurium. So, sa epineurium, ito yung nagra-wrap sa buong axon mo. Then, si perineurium naman, this is the middle layer. So, this surrounds your fascicles. Then, endoneurium naman, dito mo makikita si Schwann cell. So, kung makikita mo dito, based from this, sa box na ginawa ko, ayan, this is your connective tissue sheath. Then, dito, this is your epineurium. Epineurium. This is your perineurium. Itong fascicle na to. Since may fascicle, this is your perineurium. Then, yung nagsusurround dito sa individual axons mo, aside from myelin sheath, is the layer called endoneurium. So, may makita ka dito pala, we have 2 kinds of axons, the myelinated and unmyelinated. So, based on their structure pa lang, pag myelinated yung axons mo, itsura niya is para kang may whirlpool. Gaya nito, oh. Pag unmyelinated naman, single layer lang yan. Single layer, parang nagbalot ka lang ng nagbalot ka lang ng yelo. Yun lang itsura niya. Ito, maraming layers. Ito, single layer lang. Yun unmyelinated. So, move on tayo sa neuroglia natin. For our neuroglia, these are just your supporting cells. So, since supporting cells to, they do not conduct action potential or transmit signals. So, for neuroglia, we have 5. Nakalagay dito 4, but we have 5. So, we have the astrocyte, oligodendrocyte, Schwann cell, and microglia. And we also have the ependymal cells. So, unahin natin si astrocyte. Si astrocyte, ang tanging function lang niya is for your blood-brain barrier formation and formation of scars. Yan lang yun, yan lang yung ano niya. Diyan lang siya responsible. Blood-brain barrier and scars. Also, ito yung pag sinabi natin blood-brain barrier, maarte yung nervous system natin. So, bawal dumaan doon kung ano-anong molecules lang. Kasi, once na may tumagos doon na isang molecule na hindi dapat tumagos doon, pwedeng ikamatay yon ng tao. So, for blood-brain barrier, we have 3 components lang. So, this is your 3 components lang siya. So, basically, si brain mo nandito. Then, we also have yung endothelium or in capillary wall. This is your brain. This is your blood vessel. Then, within this, may layer of cells dyan. Di ko na siya i-discuss gaano kasi hindi naman siya gaano importante. But, ganyan yung itsura niya. So, since may mga RBCs dito, ito si brain mo, ang nangyayari, si astrocyte, may astrocyte dito usually. So, magdodrawing ako ng astrocyte. Ayan, astrocyte yan. So, yan si astrocyte, ginagawa niya, pinapasikip niya it's either papasikipin niya or papaluwagin niya yung distance between the brain and the blood vessel. So, ibig sabihin yan, kapag si astrocyte, pinaglapit niya yung brain and capillary, nangyayari, magkakaroon ng diffusion ng molecules. Pero kapag hindi naman kailangan, ang gagawin ni astrocyte is papaluwagin niya yung distance between the brain and the blood vessels. Therefore, ang blood-brain barrier natin, think of it as selective permeability or maarte siya. Maarte si blood-brain barrier natin kasi once na may pumasok na molecule doon na hindi dapat kailangan ng brain, pwede niyang ikamatay. Ito. Then move tayo kay oligodendrocyte. For oligodendrocyte, ang function lang niya is to create myelin sheath. Yun lang yung function niya. Nagkikreate ng myelin sheath sa CNS. So, anong gawain ni myelin sheath? Again, gaya sabi ko kanina, ini-insulate lang niya yung axons para mabilis yung transmission ng signal sa neurons natin. So, kung dito, si oligodendrocyte sa CNS, ang tawag naman natin sa cell na gumagawa ng myelin sheath sa PNS natin is our Schwann cell. Yun ang pinagkaiba niya. Oligodendrocyte sa CNS, Schwann cell naman sa PNS. Then sunod, si microglia. Si microglia, halos kasing itsura lang niya to si astrocyte. Pero, pag titignan mo siya microscopically, mas mahaba yung galamay ni astrocyte kaysa kay microglia. Plus, yung function din kasi ni microglia is just for phagocytosis. Ito yung macrophage mo. Macrophage to ng CNS, ay ng nervous system. So, basically, gawain lang yan is to eat up stuff or phagocytosis. Then, may hindi pa ako nababanggit ng isa. So, i-include ko na siya. So, si ependymal cells. Si ependymal cells mo, makikita mo to sa ventricles ng brain mo. Ang function lang nito is to create CSF. So, in function ni CSF, it's just protection or cushion of brain and spinal cord. Yan lang yun gawain niya. So, babalikan ulit natin si astrocyte, blood-brain barrier, basically maarte si nervous system natin. Sunod, oligodendrocyte, siya yung gumagawa ng Schwann cell. So, sa CNS, then sa PNS naman, si Schwann cell. Then, microglia, that's your macrophage. Ependymal cells, they create cerebrospinal fluid, which is responsible for protecting your brain and spinal cord. So, this part, yung lalagay ko na to ng star, green na. Itong part na to, hindi ko siya madidiscuss kasi hindi naman siya sa akin naturo. So, I'll leave this up to you for your reading assignment na. And also this, lahat yan. Okay, dito tayo sa nature of nerve signals. Okay, for our nerve signals kasi, ayan, bawat cell kasi natin, we have this so-called action potential. Ayan yung sinasabi ko kanina. So, before tayo magkaroon ng action potential, nagkakaroon kasi tayo ng various processes para mag-conduct ng messages yung neurons natin to our brain and to our body. So, first, i-define muna natin to. Ganyan ang sabi ko kanina, we have voltage or membrane potentials. Every living organism has those across our cell membranes. So, ano ba to si membrane potential? So, membrane potential to, it is the electrical gradient lang ng cell membrane natin. So, think of it as, if alam mo yung sodium-potassium pump, example to ng membrane potential. So, sa sodium-potassium pump, di ba, diyan papasok si piso, potassium in, sodium out. So, sa membrane potential mo, lagi mong tatandaan, si anion, which is your negatively charged particle, ay makikita siya sa loob ng cell. Then, cations mo naman, this is your positively charged, makikita mo to sa labas ng cell. Kita mo to sa outside of cell or sa extracellular fluid. So, yung cell natin, kasi, hindi agad-agad yan magkakandak ng action potential. May tinatawag tayong resting membrane potential. So, pag sinabi natin resting membrane potential, it is what it is lang. Kung anong meron dun sa cell na yon, kung anong components pa lang na meron dun sa cell na yon, hindi pa siya gagalaw. Kasi yun lang yun, ideal na concentration of anions and cations within that cell para hindi sila makapag-conduct ng action potential. So, sige, medyo magulo yon. Scratch that out. Okay, si resting membrane potential, basically from the word resting, nagpapahinga lang, walang ginagawa yung cell. Constant lang yung number of anions and cations niya inside and outside of the cell. Therefore, walang nangyayari sa cell mismo na nagkakandak nun. So, yung voltage niya is negative 70 millivoltage. So, bakit negative? Since resting lang yan, kailangan mo ng, since resting lang yan, kailangan mo ng energy. And since kailangan mo ng energy, usually, energy kasi, turo sa amin ha, energy kasi is usually in a form of electrons. So, si electrons, negatively charged yan. Kaya, ayan, negative 70. So, ito na. Papasok tayo sa cations and anions. So, si cations, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, ito si sodium and si potassium. Sodium and potassium. So, si sodium, intracellular. Pag sinabi natin intracellular, within the cell. Pag extracellular naman, outside of the cell. Kaya nga, di ba, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, sa sodium-potassium pump, may makikita ka, si sodium goes in, ay, baliktad. Sa resting membrane potential, di ba, makita mo, lalo na sa piso, kanina, potassium in, then, sodium, outside. Ayun yon. Ito yung binabanggit ko kanina. Tandaan mo lagi piso. For cations, lagi mong tandaan yung mnemonic na piso. Kasi si potassium, makikita mo siya inside of the cell or within the cell. Then si sodium naman, makikita mo siya outside of the cell or sa extracellular cation. Then move on tayo sa anion. Si anion, negatively charged siya. So, ang tatandaan mo lang, si chlorine. Si chlorine, sa labas yan. Chloride ion pala rather. Sa labas yan, outside of cell. Then proteins, amino acids, sulfate and phosphate naman, sa loob. Okay. So, for measuring the membrane potentials, ito yung sinasabi ko. Yung labas ng cell membrane mo, positive. Yung loob ng cell membrane mo, negative. Ang mangyayari niyan, may dadaloy dito. Ayun. So, I'm back. Ang mangyayari niyan is may dadaloy dito na action potentials. Then, magkakaroon kasi tayo ng depolarization and repolarization. Pero, i-discuss ko siya mamaya. So, paano ba niya na-maintain yung membrane potential niya? So, sige. Unahin natin yung ion channels natin. So, for ungated ion channels natin, ang ginagawa lang niya is to diffuse. Diffusion lang ginagawa niya. So, usually, lagi siyang bukas. Unlike kapag gated, sige, ito drawing ko. Kapag ungated, ito yung cell membrane mo. Phospholipid bilayer, di ba? This is your ungated na ion channel. So basically, bukas lang yan. Pero, we also have our gated ion channels. So basically, ito yung gate. Regulation, ito, unregulated, ito regulated yung pagpasok at paglabas ng ions. So, always remember, yung mga ungated ion channels does not achieve equilibrium. Kasi, remember sa sodium and potassium pump natin, si sodium kasi lumalabas, si potassium pumapasok sa loob. Eh, since parehas sila cation, yung concentration gradients nila ay nagka-clash. Which is the reason why paulit-ulit lang ang sodium-potassium pump natin. Walang nangyayaring equilibrium. Ito. Sodium-potassium pump. Ito itsura niya. So, ito yung tawag yung excitable cells. Tanda mo lang sa excitable cells, kaya nitong mag-generate ng action potential or large membrane potentials. So, dito, kung kanina, diffusion ang nangyayari sa ungated, dito naman, gated ion channels na may nangyayari. Because of stimuli. Since gated ito, nagkakaroon tayo ng change in membrane potential, unlike doon sa diffusion. So, we have two types of ion channels. We have chemically gated and voltage gated. Dito, chemically gated, kailangan mo ng mga chemical. For example, okay, sige. For example, this is your, sa chemically gated to ha, for example, this is your terminal button. This is your postsynaptic cleft or effector organ. So, this is your axon. Then, dito, may channel dito. Then, dito din, may mga channels. So, ang number 1 neurotransmitter natin is si acetylcholine, ACH. Yung ACH molecules na yan, magta-transmit yan dito. So, once yan si ACH molecule, since ito, gated to, hindi to makakalabas. Kailangan mo ng another factor para bumukas yung channel dito. And that is your calcium. So, si calcium, example lang to ha, no worries. Pag pumasok si calcium dito sa channels, ang mangyayari, didikit siya dito, may didikit dyan na calcium, and mag-open na to. Once na nag-open, doon lalabas si ACH to our effector organ. Gets ba? If ever ha, as lang kayo. Then we have the voltage gated naman. So for voltage gated ion channels, nag-open and close lang yan based sa change in membrane potential. Chemically gated, chemical stimulus lang. Dito, membrane potential sa voltage. So, ito, hindi ko na siya i-discuss kasi hindi naman siya gaano important. Hindi naman to important. Ang mahalaga lang is malaman mo tong depolarization, repolarization, and depolarization and repolarization. Pag sinabi natin depolarization, mas dipolar. Pag polar, sige, isipin mo pag polar, positive ka. Hindi, pag dipolar, negative. So, nangyayari, since depolarization, hatiin mo yun sa D, ang nangyayari is, nagiging more positive or less negative yung membrane potential mo. So, yung sodium mo, pumapasok siya sa cell. Pag dipolar, sodium pumapasok sa cell, therefore, mas nagiging positive yung membrane potential. That's your depolarization. Then we have hyperpolarization. Pag hyperpolarization naman, dyan papasok si potassium. Si potassium, lalabas. Di ba may binagit ako kaninang piso? Potassium in, sodium out. Ito, this is, ano lang to, hindi, ganyan sabi ko kanina, hindi siya applicable for membrane potential kasi nga, nagdi-diffuse lang yan. Pero ito naman, kasi gated to. Anong nangyayari? Si potassium, papasok, ay, lalabas sa cell, then, magiging negative yun membrane potential natin. Then, for our action potential, it is all or nothing. Pag sinabi natin all or nothing, basta lahat dapat ng number of chemicals or ions ay nandoon to achieve the action potential. Kasi kung magkulang man lang yan, even at the slightest bit, walang mangyayari. Yun lang siya. Kahit magkulang ka lang ng isang piranggot lang ng sodium, walang mangyayari na action potential. Kaya siya tinawag na all or nothing. So, nangyayari lang to if naabot natin yung threshold potential natin. So, basically, this is your point between your resting potential and action potential. Si threshold potential mo, ulitin ko, this is the point lang na si resting potential, magta-transition na siya to your action potential. And makikita mo to sa axons lang. So, ulitin ko ha. Ang mangyayari, first step is depolarization. Second step, hyperpolarization. And last is action potential. So, sa depolarization, si sodium, mataas yung concentration niya sa outside of cell. Therefore, ang mangyayari, papasok si sodium side of cell against its concentration gradient. Therefore, tataas yung sodium inside cell and bababa yung sodium outside cell. Making it positive. Yung inside ng cell is positive. Hyperpolarization, mataas ang sa loob. Then after nyan, lalabas si K. Therefore, bababa yung potassium sa loob, tataas naman yung potassium sa labas. Therefore, ang mangyayari, magiging more negative yung membrane potential. And once nangyari to, constant to nangyayari, so kapag ito na-reach na nila yung maximum threshold nila, itong dalawa, magkakaroon tayo ng action potential in an all or none fashion. Basically, kailangan lahat ng potassium, lahat ng sodium, lumabas at lahat ng sodium or karamihan ng sodium or certain amount of sodium lang ay kailangan makapasok para mag-depolarize, and certain amount of potassium naman ay lumabas para ma-reestablish ang action potential in an all or none fashion. Ayun lang siya. Okay. For the gated ion channels, for sodium, we have two gates. we have the activation gates and inactivation gates. Pag activation gates, close siya at resting, pero open siya kapag na-depolarize. Then once, kung si activation, closed kapag nagpapahinga, pero bukas naman kapag nag-depolarize. Inactivation naman, bukas naman, kabaliktaran lang siya ni activation. Open at resting, pero close siya sa depolarization. Gets? Basically, di mo kailangan to kabisaduhin. Kahit isa lang dito, alamin mo. Kung alam mo naman na si activation, close siya at resting, but open sa depolarization. Si inactivation, baliktarin mo lang si activation. Yun lang. So ito, di ko ito i-discuss. Kasi ito na. Diniscuss ko na kung ano nangyari dito. Ito yung nangyari. This part happened during an action potential. So, additional ano lang pala, since nagkaroon tayo ng action potential, nagkaroon tayo ng all or none fashion, ang mangyayari niyan is babalik siya to resting membrane potential. Yun lang. Then the cycle repeats itself to depolarization. Ito yung sinasabi kong saltatory conduction. Na-discuss ko na siya. So, basically, since may myelin sheet tayo, nagja-jump na lang yung ito yung sinasabi ko. Saltatory conduction, nangyayari lang siya sa nodes of Ranvier in myelinated axons. Therefore, mababa lang or sobrang bilis ng transmission ng mga nerve messages natin. So, makikita mo, pag yung axon mo ay unmyelinated, one straight path lang yan. Unlike dito, sumisingit yung action potential mo sa nodal gaps. Okay. So, for the speed of conduction, sige. 0.1 meters per sec naman for small diameter axons. Then, 120 meters per second naman for giant axons. And also, sige, since naturo na din to sa amin, vertebrates ay walang giant axons. Puro malilit lang yung axons natin. Kasi of saltatory conduction. Ito, synapses. Yung synapses, again, this is your junction. Ulitin ko, junction siya between two neurons or one neuron and effector organ. Check natin. So, ito. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. This is your presynaptic neuron. Di ba nag-drawing ako kanina? Yung ganon. That is your synapse. So, sa synapse mo, may makikita ka dito gap junctions. Yung gap junctions mo, this is also called your nexus. So, yung connexins mo, ano pinag-iba ng connexins sa connexon? Pag connexins, this is just your individual bilog-bilog. Then your connexons naman, this is a group of your connexins. Yun lang pinagkaiba niya. Okay, move tayo sa neurotransmitters. Okay. Okay, sige. Marami tayong neurotransmitters, pero sige. Iisa-isahin natin to. Iisa-isahin natin. So, stop muna tayo hanggang dito. Sa neurotransmitters. Then, I'll stop muna yung recording natin. Hihihi.